people, back on the other side. Got myself, DJ Echo. And we got the interview coming up from the man Karl Hinds, representing UK hip-hop all the way. Westside. Yes, people, we got Mr. Karl Hinds in the building. You want to say hello to the crew, mate?
What's going on, people?
Wicked, man. Glad to finally get you up here. Nice one for coming up as well and representing, man.
Of course, man, no problem.
Wicked. So, we're going to ask you a few questions, man, just to get people who might not know you too well, just get them in a little bit of the loop of what you do and where you come from.
Okay, no problem.
Right, so my first question is, when did you start rapping? Like, roughly what age?
Wow, you know what? I should really have that on tap, innit? Like, I should know the answer to that. I'm underperforming today. I didn't even see that one coming. When I started rapping, all right, I was about 12. And the reason I started rapping is because I was a beat maker. I was a producer from about 7 years old, right? So, obviously, between the ages of 12 and 13 or whatever, everybody, when you're a beat maker, you want people on your beats, innit?
To be honest, you know what? I didn't even realise that you produced the beats on the album, and one day I was like, oh my God, he produces as well. I always thought you was just a rapper.
I know a lot of people think that, but actually I'm a producer first.
Oh, okay.
Do you know what I mean? And I started rapping because everybody around me was whack. They couldn't, because we was kids, so they couldn't rap. So to hear rhymes over my beats, I had to start rapping. So that's, you know, so I was around about 12 when I decided, you know what, enough of this. Like,
okay. And that brings me on to another interesting little question, because I was looking online and it says that you started in jungle.
Yeah, again, around about 13. You know what I mean? I decided I wanted a rap label. So brethren of mine was like, you know what, if you want to make money, Jungle's doing it right now, make a jungle tune.
Okay.
So I started up, you know what I mean? It was meant to be a hip hop label. It's called Assassin Records. And it was set up to release my hip hop, aspiring hip hop music. But true, I was so young, you know what I mean, like 13, 14, 15, them kind of times. Whenever I put out a record, I pay for it cash.
Right.
It would take me so long to get the money back that I only released about 2 records a year.
Okay.
So it was like, you know, chasing your tail. By the time I was ready to release a hip hop tune, that label would be going for like 7 years.
Right.
So I had to set up a new label.
Fair enough. All right, so tell us a little bit about your new label, Ill Flavor Records, yeah?
Well, yeah, Ill Flavor Records 15th year anniversary, so, you know what I mean? Wow. We're kind of established now. It's a label that I set up, as I said before, because I had a previous label. By the time I was ready to release hip-hop, I'd released too much jungle drum and bass on that label, so that kind of established itself. You know what I mean? So I just thought, you know what, I've got to set up a new entity. So I set up Ill Flavor Records about 98.
Cool.
Do you know what I mean? I sat down with a couple of dudes and, you know what I mean, we started plotting and scheming, yeah.
I noticed you had a lot of the old school heads on that. You was like trying to push them, bring them through a lot of...
Well, when we first came out, the label, yeah. I mean, you know what it was? It was Shawnee T. You know what I mean? Like, he's the main connect for me because Sean is like my uncle.
Okay.
He's as good as my uncle. So, and he was moving with Black Twang. So I guess it was Sean's vision to have myself, Black Twang, and himself, Shawnee T, be seen as like the rottenness.
Cool.
And so that was the connection with Twang and that. And obviously being a label that was around, or me being an artist that was around those kind of artists, it was just natural that a lot, you know, Estelle and I don't know, Twang, Roots, Sean, Skinny, and all them kind of people kind of touched the label. A lot of people with that era has been on a label at some point or another.
Okay, you know what we're going to do? We're going to slip into one of your tunes, yeah? And then we're going to come back after the tune. I might ask you a little bit about it. You can tell us where the ideas came from and we're going to ask you some more questions, yeah?
Cool, man.
So, shouts to all those locked in, locked on. We got Karl Hinds in the building, yeah? Representing UK hip-hop, man. Trust me, don't go nowhere. Tell your friends.
There's no money to pay all these bills, and I just can't.
You're talking like you ain't got no faith right now.
I'm tired of hearing the same thing.
Oh, what? You're supposed to be riding with me. You know what I'm on. You know what my profession is, innit?
You know what I mean? I can't take it any longer.
What? 2 and 2 bills you are at, like. That's just normal life.
Yeah, she's on hustlers, everybody knows it. So you could club until you pass out, but don't propose it. Cause instantly becomes clear, you're some young boy ting. Her eyes wonder what we're here, persona got us zoned in. Certain man's flex his name below notable. Chick's beauty's phenomenal, so bad boo can use his honor. She don't back to breeze through, zero more fade him out. You also wash swag cause you ain't even getting paper. I met her at a club by the time I came off stage. Then she reached out to mans on my fan page. I'm a car owner, 3 initials, first one is B. Company owner, hit maker, see why she wants me? I shop tours, bill brands, they showed her some keys. Why you dudes is getting carded for trying to shop keys. Said she never had a that compares to me. Now she wants that jewelry that ties her to my
future. I'm in a fast lane, I can't slow down. I need a shorty that be down for a road man. We blow grants, get with the program. And baby, you can see me in the future. The future, the future. Baby, you can see me in the future. The future, the future. Baby, you can see me in the future. My sex game super. Shorty wanna ride shotgun, I said I wanna shoot, yeah. I'm the executor. I can cool a girl cute and make her come on my maneuver. I stroke new fur, I never knew her. But the way that she blows is nuclear.
Track in the background, track entitled The Future.
But make me feel like I've used her.
Karl Hinds featuring Dirty Goods, yeah.
Confused her. Shorty got it.
We're gonna talk about it after this, man, trust. Until then, just get into the music. Rapping UK hip-hop tonight.
Hoover, she shines like a jeweler. A winner, and she don't wanna give it to a loser. She wants a trooper, a 5-star general. Take a ride on my cruiser. I'm in a fast lane, I can't slow down.
So we're good to go then,
I need a shorty that be down for a road man.
They like the track,
We
innit?
blow grants, get with the program.
Look,
And baby,
watch,
you
I'm
can
gonna
see
show
me
you,
in the
innit?
future. The future, the future. Baby, you can see me in the future. The future, the future. Baby, you can see me in the future. They're saying Britain's back. As long as I'm alive, you can't say that Britain's whack.
Never that.
I'm 9 stone with Britain on my back. So I'm heavyweight sitting on a track.
Notice that I carry Britain like a rucksack. She loves that. A UK legend walking up her back. It's a fact. When we step out, we're bound to get packed. Get used to that. Intrusion, jealousy, admiration. We keep the haters hating.
It's lights, camera, action. For these street stars, it's been an absence. When we step up in the rave, it's a madness. We make our gal misbehave. Badness.
Know the complex, let's put it in context. I'm waiting, my earning potential is monstrous. Know that when we leave the club, she gon' want. Yet still, I know she wants me to invest in her
future. I'm in a fast lane, I can't slow down. I need a shorty that be down for a road man. We blow grants, get with the program. And baby, you can see me in the future. The future, the future. Baby, you can see me in the future. The future, the future. Baby, you can see me in the future. I'm in a fast lane, I can't slow down. I need a shorty that be down for a road man. We blow grants, get with the program. And baby, you can see me in the future. The future, the future. Baby, you can see me in the future. The future, the future. Baby, you can see me in the future.
Right, so there we have it, yeah?
Yeah.
Right, so that one was called The Future. Let us know a little bit about that track, man.
Okay, well, big up Dirty Goods, who features on that track. Came through and tore it up. And you know what? That's a track that I was just working on a beat. My manager walked into the studio while I was working on Black Time in the mixtape that's from. My manager was kind of like, you know what, we need to get Goods on this track. Like, I can make it happen. And you know, I mean, I have to kind of rate him because a lot of people wouldn't have put me and Goods together on it.
Okay.
Do you know what I mean? A lot of people wouldn't have seen that.
Right.
My manager had the vision. I can't even take the credit for that. But what I will say is once Goods came through, like the vibes was just natural.
Cool.
Do you know what I mean? So he blazed that track. So he was sitting there calling and I'm playing him the rest of the mixtape and he was like, listen, I want a piece of that, I want a piece of that. So he featured on a couple other tracks on the mixtape as well still.
Cool, I like that one. It like brings back that old school kind of flavour with the chords and the strings and the background.
Yeah.
Right, I want to move on to one of your newest artists, I think, if I'm not mistaken. You know who I'm talking about, don't you?
Talk about it, son. Let them know.
I would if I could find what I written down, mate. Then I would have asked you.
Alright, well, you know what? Who he's talking about, people? Probably an artist called BGR.
That's the one.
Yeah, I mean, who's our sort of latest, well, not sort of, she is our latest signing and she's the first lady of Ill Flavour Records. She's just phenomenal, man. Do you know what I mean? Like, by the time I'd signed her, I'd been going for like 13, 14 years as a label, and outside of me, she was the first artist I signed.
That you thought was worth signing, yeah?
Yeah, that's how long it took me to find the right artist, you know what I mean? So, you know, she's phenomenal, man.
How did you link up with her?
Well, her previous manager is a brethren of mine, a guy called P, big up P. And he kind of hit me like on some, listen, I got this artist, you know what I mean? Like, she's fire. I was like, you know what I mean?
Heard it all before.
Yeah. But what he did, he sent me a little link. You know what I mean? I'm not going to say how I did it because everyone will do it. And I just clicked on it. True, it was him. I thought, you know what I mean? Like, let me listen. And, bruv, trust me, she was flowing over the Eminem Fast Lane.
I love that beat, man.
Murdered it.
Okay.
So I called him instantly. I said, bruv, we really need to sit down and talk. What do you want me to do with her, kind of thing? And initially, yeah, I mean, like, because he was managing her and whatever, and I'm a dude, you know, I share. So it's like, listen, why don't we sign her as like two entities coming together, 50-50 and whatever. But when that broke down, you know, I reached out to her personally. Yeah, I mean, and just said, listen, this is your home, you need to come with us, kind of thing. So cool.
So you know what? On that note, let me drop her tune, yeah?
Yeah.
And then we're back on the other side. After this one, we're gonna ask some more questions, play some more Karl Hinds. And we're repping UK hip hop all the way tonight, yeah? And trust me, we've got to start supporting our UK artists a bit more, yeah? What you reckon, Drez?
Yeah, for real, man.
You're damn right, mate. Right, so we're back after this track, yeah? Brand new, fresh. I say fresh because it's like the freshest kind of thing, innit?
They ain't calling me Miss Ali for nothing, but I'll stunt and chuck a shoulder rip you if you think I'm bluffing. Knock me down, I get back up. Like I'm down, what's in that cup? Like I've just found out what's up. I talk with his, let's get discussing. What dimension you stuck in? Who's lying to you and trying to prove you got purpose when you got nothing except what I leave behind when I'm dusting? God bless my London, I will always love my streets, no matter where spitting on the beat takes me. I'm a gutter kid, you know about E15. No Stratford City, no glitz and glam, yo, back a day gritty. Junior jump up in the Stratford Rex. Club EQ for the grand scene sets when the shots go off and the rave hit decks. I've been doing this shit, you were this big, so don't do it, don't try it, don't risk it. You better panic, I think I'm having an ink fit, and if you don't get down, you're a target, and I won't ish him. Have to give a bit, or slap that, cause if I see one, you was gonna take a cat nap to get your back up, and call your back up, but I told you if you whack up, I'ma give it to you, have that. I get lost in the beat, no sat nav,
track in the background, track entitled Ali Buma, yeah.
I'm a scope to your brain, it'll leave you on your flat back.
On the BGR, wicked, representing.
Handle before, we can take it from bad to worse if you can handle the man, then we stand at your door. If you can handle a chick that will tear you apart on the beat like you stay in boot camp. And if not, it'll eat you alive in this life, cause they say I'm the reigning champ. Like Miss Ali Boumaye, Miss Ali Boumaye. It's a lot, that red Ciroc initials on my J's. Miss Ali Boumaye, Miss Ali Boumaye. Come like a Glock, I keep it quiet till it's time to spray. Fool and I climb, ball and I grind, I'm a champ. But there's no talking in line, so I plot for the shot at the heavyweight spot. Ting is in my blood and my heart ain't stopped, so I fly right past. I cried and laughed, I'm alone and I'm zoned. Where my hands are when I touch that belt. Everyone who thought I was just some girl, they're screaming Miss Ali Boumaye, Miss Ali Boumaye. It's a lot, that red Ciroc initials on my J's. Miss Ali Boumaye, Miss Ali Boumaye. I'm like a Glock, I keep it quiet till it's time to spray. Can't see my mouth, I don't watch what I say. Ask if I mean it and watch what I say. Ask if they feel it and watch the response and the nods. Now who's getting watched in a way? You getting watched in a rave? Miss Ali for my yay. It's a lot, looks like they're clocking on who not to rate. For you that's not too great, cause you're not too great. Frustrated to the point you hate anybody you could touch mic like you ain't. A lot of the music I hear is too same. Started with hip hop, it's a new game. Cause they all talk like they never been broke, hallucinating like they ain't new fame. Touche.
I get too irate, but control your emotions and stay in your place. You don't wanna get bullet laced, have your body full of holes in a pattern like lace. Keep it one with yourself and embrace the reality. Your faith in your talent's misplaced. Probably get banged up and erased to the second. It's something you shouldn't contemplate. Rethink your whole strategy, I'll have you in touch with you feelings like Drake. Crying on track, in touch with your feminine side, getting chicks to relate. Certified as a great, all I do is make moves, leave a cloud full of haze. And I don't even blaze, but I like the cohibas in the worst way. You can never count me out. Grimer, call me Madrid cause I'm real. And if they'll get laid out, take a car trip in a boot like a day out. And it ain't safe to play out. We touch up image like a rapist and spray out. Leave your postcode laid out. Swimming in the sea of blood types and we S out. It's probably best when you talk about dumb that you reassess disrespect. Oh, you like 12 in this game for a week. Best but I put my foot on your neck. And I don't tolerate none of it. Have my finger caress this trigger like a It's quite clear from the way that I spit that I leave all this is soft fibers and bits. You niggas ain't up on fishing. Full sense of security, you might playing tricks. Eventually I'll move on your tips and expose their flow. Issue that it is. I leave damage, I'm reckless and I don't give a fuck about this. The grime, I'm still treacherous. Protect my position like a fortress. Like Ale Boomaye, Ale Boomaye. It's getting big for you. Hurry, come up, so I will spray.
Track in the background.
Ale Boomaye,
Ali Boomaye.
for all these blessings and another
BGR. Dangerous Spitter. And of course, Karl Hinds.
Of course.
He's in the building right now.
Yeah.
I'm excited, man.
It's all good.
Because I've been listening to you from like, oh mate, way back when, man.
Of course.
Done though.
I never forget the first time someone said that to me, man. I didn't realise. I was just talking to a friend of mine and they was like, you know what? A friend of mine at work said he grew up on you. I was like, grew up on me? Have I been doing it that long? I have to remember the first time someone said that to me. That knocked me back. That's when I realised I was getting old, fam.
We're never too old, man.
Yeah.
We're only as
that's
old
my
as we
motto.
feel, innit?
That's my motto.
All right. Right. What else can I ask you? Let me see now. What questions are written down for you? Right. I want to ask you a little bit about Jeff 3 because I saw him on your website.
Yeah. Okay. So Jeff's like a family member who produces
Okay.
and spits. So basically, you know, for the tracks, for the kind of projects that I don't pick up production-wise, he handles. Do you know what I mean? And sometimes we'll split it down the middle.
So he's like your in-house producer almost.
Yeah, he's definitely an in-house producer. He's also a very good spitter. We did an album, myself, Shawnee T, Jeff, and like 5 other members, Blacknificent 7. That was when everyone first got to hear Jeff, and on that album was people like Rodney P, Roots Maneuver, Scheme and whatever. So yeah, Jeff kind of holds his own on that.
So with all those names you just mentioned, did you literally get to know them through having your record label, or did you know them before?
You know what? Because I came out on my label. They run parallel. Do you know what I mean? I got to know them through rhyming, but I came out with the label from day one. So kind of, yeah, you get me.
Cool. Right. What I'm gonna do, I think the next tune I'm gonna play of yours, it won a hip hop award, I think, for the best video. Am I correct in saying that?
Yeah, you're correct.
Would you say that this is your most popular tune or well-known tune?
It's a difficult one. It's out of this one and Let's Have It with me and Skinny Man.
Okay, I'm gonna drop that.
I just assumed it was this one. But you know what I mean, when you do your research and you look at numbers or whatever, and obviously I got the figures how much they sold and whatever. It's a close call.
Okay, cool. Right, so I'm gonna drop one of Karl Hinds' most famous tracks. Won a UK Hip Hop Award for Best Video and nominations as well. Was that in 2001?
Yeah.
I think it was.
Yeah. Got nominated for Single of the Year and I got nominated for Best Newcomer.
Would you say this is what broke you through the
I mean, it was the first single, so it for a first single on a brand new label, it did alright. Still hit me.
Was this your first release on Ill Flavour?
Yeah, this was the first release on Ill Flavour. This is the first time I ever tried to rap properly in a British accent. It was the first everything.
Okay. Right, we're gonna drop into this track now. One of the most famous Karl Hinds tracks. You're probably all gonna know it. We're going to come back on the other side with some more questions, yeah? And also, if you want to ask him anything yourself, you can tweet us, you know, at This Is Westside, yeah? Get your tweets in, any questions you want to ask Mr. Karl Hinds. He's in the building right now. Now's your chance. Don't miss it. It's the Hip Hop Back in the Day show, representing Westside every Sunday, yeah? 7 till 10 p.m, man. This one won UK Hip Hop Award Best Video, yeah, nominations.
1 gram is a diver, cost you
wicked track, man.
This is a banner that will set you back a tenner. An eighth is a Henry, get it, King Henry. The eighth is 15 quid. If you're from where I live, I know you love the way I'm flinging it. Now this American chat, I wanna hear some British shit. So what's it like? From the manner to your manner, chatting that dog grammar, street navigator, Karl Hinds life a real flavour. To all the beanies and the hustlers, survivors and the strugglers, and everyday street jugglers. Coming live from the manner to your manner, chatting that dog grammar, street navigator, Karl Hinds life a real flavour. To all the beanies and the hustlers, survivors and the strugglers, and everyday street jugglers. So if you feel me, then you get me. Overstand the dialect that's penetrating through your radio and cassette deck. You got that, you got wet, and I wet you lyrically or physically if you persist to get me upset. I ain't the type of brethren you should see up. A villain, forever scamming it, try to make a million. A real street rapper, cause when I'm done with the track, I'm hustling on the street like any other breader. The life I intend to reflect is finding every single you in London, running things proper tight neck. Karl Hinds is the lick. I survive properly, making a mockery of the legal system in this shit. No respect for authority, cause black minorities are getting killed in police custody. I know you love the way I'm flinging it. Like this American twang, I wanna hear some British shit. So what's it like? What? From the manner to your manner, chatting that dog grammar, street navigator, Karl Hinds life a real flavour. To all the beanies and the hustlers, survivors and the strugglers, and everyday street jugglers. Coming live from the manner to your manner, chatting that dog grammar, street navigator, Karl Hinds life a real flavour. To all the beanies and the hustlers, survivors and the strugglers, and everyday street jugglers. honey rotten black wine. Pulse maneuver.
Big up to Julian, locked on. Out to Kevin. Out to Tony. Out to James, yeah. Is that your brother, mate?
Double J.
Out to Dres's brother, yeah. Locked on, man. Wicked. Right, that made me laugh, mate. Right, we've got Karl Hinds back again. Let's get serious now, yeah. Right. So we spoke about that tune a little bit. Shall we touch on it a bit more?
Yeah.
Go for it, mate. Go for it.
Well, the Don Grammar thing,
Yeah.
basically, the way it came about was Sean again. You know what? That dude's an antagonist, you get me? Like, he used to come in my studio and just get at me constantly because I was trying to sound like Nas. Do you know what I mean? And he'd be like, yeah, you know what? Your beats are banging, but that voice, bro, like, stop it.
Just sound UK.
Yeah. He just constantly used to go on about it. And you know, like, when you don't want to hear it, I mean, I'm trying to be Nas right
I think
now.
even when you're not trying to rap like that, it just comes out like that for some reason.
It does. And he just carried on. One of the things he said to me, though, was, like, listen to yourself when you're having a telephone conversation and how you would talk in a phone conversation, try and emulate that in a rhyme. And he kept comparing me to Big L. Because, like, L hasn't got much bass in his voice. You know what I mean? And obviously L's full of punchlines, whatever, mad punchy, and he likened us to each other. So when I heard Ebonics, the Big L tune, at the time I didn't have no money to release a record.
Okay.
So I just thought, you know what, I'm going to chill on that. Because by the time I get my situation together to make this record, someone else is going to do the idea. Because to me, it was a really obvious idea.
Yeah, I find that if you think of something and you don't hit on it straight away, before you know it, you hear the same thing
That's
you
right.
thought of.
And it's happened to me bare times before, so I just thought it was going to happen again. But I don't think people didn't have the confidence, I guess, because it was L. And even at that stage, everyone knew that L was, you know what I mean, like a god MC. So I had nothing to lose, man. I didn't have a record. I had no record out. I didn't have no reputation. I was like, I'm going to do it.
Did you use a lot of samples on your production, or not really?
You know what? Sampling. I touch on sampling every now and then. I mean, I had this kind of viewpoint before I heard Dre said it, but I agree with Dre. And what Dre said was, if everything you make has a massive sample in the middle of it, that's not really nothing he can really rate. And I've always kind of felt that way. Do you know what I mean? So my whole thing was, I used to kind of, when I came out, heard people kind of getting at the production. Some people knew it was me that was producing music. Some people didn't. But my whole thing was, okay, listen, these so-called producers that you lot are hailing up, take a sampler away from them. Take the 950
Right.
away. Let's see what really happens after that, innit?
I hear that.
And that's the thing. So, like, you know, I try to use as little samples as possible, but I'm not against it.
I find it hard to write to samples a lot of the time as well. You can't
for real?
find the key, and you got to find the key that the sample's in. And
I won't even write to a sample until it's in the structure of the track. Do you know what I mean?
Okay.
So, like, I feel you though.
Right, we've got to go into a short ad break, and we're going to come back on the other side with some more Karl Hinds, and we're going to touch on a little bit about your 15-year anniversary, yeah?
Yeah.
And the documentary.
Yeah. Definitely.
Okay. So don't miss that exclusive interview. Mr. Karl Hinds in the building representing UK hip hop. Passed down on the hip hop back in the day show. Want to say maximum respects, man. Big up.
Westside. This is how we do on the Westside.
Oh yes, the British rap game. Please come in. My name is Karl Hinds, and this is the
Westside.
We're gonna get into your psyche right now, just get this. This rap game in Britain jars me. Since I deal with amateur psychology, I thought I psychoanalyzed the game of why it hates me. Paranoid possibly, you tell me. If what I speak ain't the truth, explain to me why you disagree. I had an appointment with the game, called it destiny. Laid him on my couch and tested his authenticity. When the game walked in, wearing baggy jeans and brown tucked up with a t-shirt underneath. At first, he was confident, kept praising me back on grammar and how he was feeling my last LP. I asked the game why, he seemed baffled, couldn't reply. I stood up and looked the game in the eye and explained, I need to get into your subconsciousness. The game got nervous, sat himself up and looked stressed. I said relax, I need to understand where you're at and why certain acts get praised and
Yes, people, Karl Hinds is in the building. What?
10 down to 1.
We got it, man. Trust me, we're repping hard, you know.
I could see
You know that dress?
easy around me, I didn't.
We're repping big style for the hip hop scene, man. Where would they be without us, mate? I don't know.
State of relaxation. you will trust this voice.
Yeah, there you go, mate.
I think they'll be lost echo.
I think so, man.
What we're gonna do,
big
we're
up
gonna
for
go
doing
deep
it.
into your psyche.
We gotta represent UK hip hop,
Why?
US hip hop. We just gotta represent hip hop, man, proper.
So much
Yeah,
fit.
hip hop full stop, man.
You done know.
Game if he hated me, he would
This one, psychoanalysis, Mr. Karl Hinds. We're gonna have a little word with him about this one after it's finished playing. Yeah, he told me this one goes deep. He goes to me, bruvs. He goes, how deep do you want me to go? I goes as deep as you want, mate.
boundaries
Oh, there's a
make
story to tell then, yeah?
Yeah, mate.
We like to act out our fantasies off the streets. I said that's deep. Is that why you stick to the same beats with the same sounds that never evolves in this country? The game paused and didn't seem to have an answer for me. So I asked the game about its fascination with graffiti, break dancers and big coats and baggy jeans. Cause I'm from the streets and that don't really reflect me. The game said that's hip hop. I said no, it's not. The game seen shots. I said it's a part of hip hop. That's when it clicked. I asked the game what his fear is. He told me I'm not sure I know what hip hop is. So we stick to certain images, blood that fit. The truth is we're rebelling against privilege. That's what it is. That explains why everybody in this game looks the same. I see what the problem is. You're getting the image of hip hop confused with living hip hop. Just cause you can break dance, that don't mean you're hip hop. Just cause I don't wear big baggy jeans.
Send out to the DLR. Send out to the Tommy D, yeah.
It's like, yo, so we've established.
Congratulations on your new addition to the family, brother.
Street bling rapping so hard.
A little baby girl.
Can't walk the streets wearing bling. I'll get what.
Shouts to your lady as well, mate.
What I'm-
Hope it's all going well.
And brought him back
You're getting your sleep in.
and told him the findings of my psychoanalysis. First, the
Out to Patariek.
on cliches, baggy jeans, big break beats, and graffiti. A time when rap
Out to Mr. Lorenzo. Easy.
pure and untouched and not corrupted by greed. And basically, since you're middle class, you can't take the risk of us taking rap to the streets.
Out to Skate Surf, yeah.
You try to recreate rap's innocence, but front though, like you're representing its essence. The truth is you're
Out to India.
losing control, so you're robbing.
Out to Emmanuel.
He said how? I said you wanna.
Out to David C. Snyder.
Rap's always got that backpack.
All the Instagram crew got it locked in, locked on, representing.
I rapped about
Mr. Karl Hinds in the building, live interview tonight.
once again. I put
Taking you on a journey.
music that sounded different intentionally.
Hip Hop Back in the Day show.
The game and you ignored me. Gave less a rap.
Westside 89.6 FM.
Of the UK hip hop evolution, which takes the powers out of your hands. I'm a movement. That's when the game finally realized. I came to see that when I said I was the next, I meant that literally.
Yo, what's up? This is Slim Kid Trey and DJ Newmark. We just rock London, man. But right now we're with DJ Drez on the Hip Hop Back in the Day show. Westside Bizarre Rider in the place, y'all. Peace.
Right, back to some questions. We got Karl Hinds, special guest, special appearance, live interview. This is Westside.com. Shouts to the DJ Hectic, yeah, nice one for the mix, mate. Wicked. Shouts to the Facebook crew. Check out Westside TV for all the latest interviews. Ustream. Watch the studio live. Shouts to the worldwide crew logged on, yeah. Shouts to my lady Dawn. Says sounding wicked. Shouts to Blaze It Down, how we sounding, bro. Shouts to the Munchie MC. Out to Louise. Out to Mr. Pedro. Out to Richard Strang. Out to my Deep Fried Pisces crew. Out to man Karl. It's the Hip Hop Back in the Day show every Sunday 7 till 10 p.m. yeah. UK time. 2 till 5 p.m. ET Europe time. Shouts to the DJ Speed NWA crew. Shouts to the Donna as well, yeah. Twitter massive. to the JM. We keep it old school hip hop. Who's loving this beat? Out to the Jordan. Out to Mr. Pedro DJ. I'm trying to blaze it down, says big interview. More to come, mate. You done know. Shouts to the Tommy D, no worries, mate. You know me, always bright and early. Always on time. Haha. I wish. Only for my radio show. Right, we got Mr. Karl Hinds back. Right, yeah, I played that tune, Psychoanalysis. I wondered if we could just touch on that one a little bit, because you said that one went deep, innit?
Yeah, how deep do you want me to go? Do you want me to be controversial or you want me to be like politically correct? What do you want?
I just want the truth. Yeah,
Okay.
why not, man?
All right, so there's a couple layers to it. Basically, obviously it's a concept track. It's for my second album, Have Patience, and I mean the whole album I tried to make each track a concept track, but different, you know what I mean? I didn't want to repeat the same subject twice. So that one was basically a little bit of frustration at the time, you know what I mean? I just felt that UK hip hop wasn't all the way real in terms of who they were really shouting as, you know what I mean, like top shotters or heads of the game. I felt that it needed to, if you kind of looked at UK hip hop like a person, and you know what I mean, and you was a therapist analysing it, putting it in a chair kind of thing, that's what that song is. That's the kind of angle that I came at it. Basically telling it what its issues are, maybe.
You just felt that the scene was a bit weak at the time.
Not necessarily. I thought it was fake.
Okay.
At the time, I mean, don't get me wrong. I'm not gonna say the scene was weak because there was a lot of good music. Like no doubt, a lot of good music came out of it. But I just think that the people that were hailing other artists had a backward agenda, like a backdoor agenda.
A bit like scratch my back and...
Yeah, I just felt that there was some people that, you know...
They're not being real, not keeping it real.
I mean, they just... When you're from where I'm from anyway, like how you come up in the game, how I came up, you have to go through certain things, you know what I mean? You don't just stand up and just say, you know, you're a rapper or you're in this culture, period. This culture tries you out, you get me? Like, you know, certain trials and tribulations you've got to go through, and I just felt that at that time UK hip hop, there were a lot of people that were buying their way in, and they were where they were because they were either the son or the nephew or the cousin or someone who had money.
We get that in everything though, innit?
Of course, but this is my culture, yeah.
Okay.
Like, so I'm here to defend my culture.
So that tune was more...
It's basically
letting out
like
your frustration a little bit.
Yeah, well, it was an informative tune, and like, you know, and kind of the things I prophesized on the tune came to be, because I was like basically trying to say, if you lot keep pushing, man, that ain't really from this, the streets are not gonna be fooled, and if you try to fool them, and you don't let the streets in and say what they have to say, they'll break away and create their own scene. And what did they do? They broke away and created their own scene. Grime turned back to us and said, "Ha, you man are a waste." That's what they did. So I just tried to warn people. That's all it really was. You know what I mean?
Another quick question I got for you. What are your plans for the future?
Okay, well, me personally, I've got a mixtape that I'm recording right now. I haven't even named it yet. But also we're putting together a documentary at the moment. You know what I mean, I got my son, big up my son, who's with me right now filming, so we can put this little piece in the documentary. It's basically celebrating 15 years of my label, Ill Flavor Records, and me as a rapper as well.
That's a long time, man.
It's stupid long. Like
proper long.
And it really caught up with me. I wasn't even really aware. I just sat down one day and said, you know what, it's been 15 years. Like,
so how old does that make you, if you don't mind me asking?
Boy, I've never even ever said my age.
Really?
Yeah, my age is 30.
I know you're young though.
Yeah.
I know you're younger than me anyway.
33. So 30, you know what I mean? I'm in my 30s, just about.
Okay, yeah, that would do. That would do.
Yeah, so 15 years deep, so I just thought, like, there's a lot of people that don't understand my story. Like you said, you didn't even really realise I was from jungle and drum and bass or whatever. So it starts from kind of there, and I explain basically how I came into it, and then from the point of me coming into it, we take it from there, and it's more the label story from that point onwards. So
what was that jungle tune you done? Roughneck Sister or
Roughneck Sister Sue? That was my very first one.
You know what's funny? I shared it to my girlfriend, and she goes, "Oh man, I've been looking for this tune for years. Nice one."
And people have no clue.
No idea, mate.
Because obviously I didn't go by my name. Do you know what I mean? And so I was. Well, I can't remember how old I was when I did that. 15, I think.
I probably got a load of your tunes in my crates, you know that?
Probably have.
But I didn't know it was you.
No, you know what I mean? I've never really pushed that out. And that's exactly what the documentary is about. It's really about putting the label and my career into some sort of context where people can really understand where I was coming from.
That's actually made me think of a good... Did you ever go through the pirate days and all that? Stations.
Not in terms as a DJ, but obviously like...
As an MC?
No, I didn't even...
Not really?
No, I came as an MC, I came straight out.
Okay.
With Don Grammy, that was the first everything. But what I did do with Pirates, obviously, I liaised with them and give them the music and whatever, and I did dubs for certain DJs, and do you know what I mean? So, cool. You know, I was a part of the whole situation.
Okay, so we're going to play another one of Karl Hinds' tracks. This one is featuring Skinny Man, track entitled Let's Have It. Then I'm going to ask you a little bit about working with Skinny Man, actually. Skinny Man's kind of tough, though, isn't it? He's one of my favourites, I think.
Skinny Man is
one
of the greatest.
It's a shame that he never made more music, actually. That was quite frustrating for me. I think he only ever done one album.
Yeah, I think, that goes back to what I touch on in the documentary. It's just this life, man, because the thing ain't set up right.
Right.
Do you know what I mean? Life still goes on, innit?
So you need to be eating, innit, really, to make it successful.
Yeah.
Okay. So we're going to drop into this tune, Skinny Man, Let's Have It. Karl Hinds, in the building.
Black, let's have it. I'll turn the whole place in a panic. I'll mud up any dance on a mic from a grab it. A ganja baby born with a cannabis habit. Seeing life as a if now I'm dying to stab it. Sure I'm having everybody wanna ask what this rapping is, but don't ask me, blood. The simple fact is this: I'll rap splits, I'll rap fish and chips, I'll wrap my fist round your lips. I'll drop my drawers and tell us Sasha wrap your lips on this. But don't wrap up for man who wanna chat wagon this. One mad rag of this. My phone stays blinging when I try and have a piss for supplying cannabis. Don't shoot and miss. Sure I'm nice and neat, but if you sprinkle when you tinkle, best to wipe the seat. Come out of Carl's kitchen if you can't take the heat. Cooking up ill flavored like seasoned meat. Don grammar is the slang of any man that I speak. I read for London streets when I'm banging on beats, because this is like high grade weed when I bag it, leaving the fiends in the crowd screaming, let's have it. It's more than a hobby, it's a habit. Let's have it. Cause when I see the mic, then I grab it. Let's have it. And don't even ask, can I have it? Let's have it. Cause when it's Karl Hinds and Skinny Man, then it's got to be a classic. More than a hobby, it's a habit. Let's have it. Cause when I see the mic, I'ma grab it. Let's have it. I won't even ask, can I have it? Let's have it. I spit literal classics. The time I said I'd have it, then I had it. If I said I packed it, then I packed it. See this British rap thing, I cracked it. Did the mathematics and stacked it. Some of the greatest verses on plastic, stay active. I'll have your girl over my mattress. I'll have any rap boy's tactics. Distress any amateur half-wit. My entry in this rap-ish, I mapped it. Displayed realness like a tax this. You know this, Skinny Man and Don Grammar have my manners brought you. Take a girl too, I'll have you. Brother who? The underground bubbler slash hustler slash Londoner. Challenge me, I'll slash you, Vassia, the manager. Players get dropped, put on transfer. UK massacre, me and Skinny will school you, I'm serious. Man, them a dog guard, I'm was plot. Two exceptional rappers that spit hard, you weak heart. Your defense falls apart, son, I'm ball sharp. Talk fast, I stick man's mic, tough out their ass. Standard blood, it's like it's a habit. Any opposition to us, UK, let's have it. It's more than a hobby, it's a habit. Let's have it. Cause when I see the mic, then I grab it. Let's have it. And don't even ask, can I have it? Let's have it. Cause when it's Karl Hinds and Skinny Man, then it's got to be a classic. More than a hobby, it's a habit. Let's have it. Cause when I see the mic, I'ma grab it. Let's have it. I won't even ask, can I have it? Let's have it. This is a product of hard minds and track from hard times with hard rhymes. Yo, it's none other than rhyme, spitter of cold lines. Social commentator, I'll tame you, reconsider your career prospects are getting bleaker. I kill ya. You're not a good rapper, you're an extra. Nothing to offer, surplus to requirements. Who sacked ya? Flavor with that ill behavior. It's homemade, cooked up productions that you're gonna have to savor. Linking up with this off-key neighbor, the one that ain't turning up for shows that the promoters ain't paid for. I really feel that hip hop is what I'm made for. Same reason that the same tune is getting played for. If you wondering what is the coming of age for, because you don't know what is a mic and a stage for. Let's have it. It's more than a hobby, it's a habit. Let's have it. Cause when I see the mic, then I grab it. Let's have it. And don't even ask, can I have it? Let's have it. Cause when it's Karl, Hinds and Skinny Man, then it's got to be a classic. More than a hobby, it's a habit. Let's have it. Cause when I see the mic, I'ma grab it. Let's have it. I won't even ask, can I have it? Let's have it.
Track in the background, track entitled Let's Have It. Skinny Man, Karl Hinds. Yeah, what year was that one, mate?
2004.
Okay. I take it you produced the beat, yeah?
Yeah.
Wicked. All right, so let us know a little bit about this track then.
Well, me and Skinny was always bumping into each other, obviously, on the scene, and that we'd be on the same bills and whatnot. And I just used to say to Skinny, listen, we got to do a tune. And he just used to say to me, just give me the beat then, innit? So a couple of times that happened, and then, you know what I mean, eventually I said, all right, I've got the beat ready, which I didn't have. And Skinny told me the name of the track. He was like, cool, well, it's going to be called Let's Have It. I said, all right. So obviously we set a studio day and whatnot. And the amazing thing about that track is that Skinny had the lyrics written, prepared, everything before I even played him the beat.
That's mad, that
so
is.
So he walked into the studio, heard the beat, did that. He'd already had it written.
So you already wrote the lyrics for the beat before the beat was even made?
And named the tune.
That's crazy, mate. That's
you know
crazy.
I mean? So that's how good he is. You know what I mean? Like,
that is good talent, because a lot of the time the lyrics wouldn't fit with the beat necessarily.
Exactly. So he made it fit and whatever. And a lot of people wouldn't have confidence to write before they've even heard what you're going to give them.
That's true.
I guess that kind of shows the faith he had in me as well as a producer, because he didn't feel like he needed to even hear the beat. He just dealt with it. So, you know.
So that brings me to say, who's been some of your favourite artists to work with over the years?
That's a good question. Damn, I really ain't prepared, am I? Estelle. Yeah. For sure. Skinny. Have to say Dirty Goods. Just because the vibe was just so natural with Goods.
He's got energy, innit?
Yeah. And I think, you know, culturally we understand each other. Goods is a deep brother still, you know what I mean? So sometimes you have to go off topic in terms of not talk about music to kind of get a rapport. Just talk about life.
Did you ever work with Klashnikov?
No, I wanted to though.
Okay.
Yeah, I mean,
he's still doing his thing though.
Of course.
Still rolling
I follow
through
him and everything, man. I mean, I see what he's doing and that. I hold him in high regard and that. We had one conversation on the phone which was good still, but we've never really connected since.
I remember when he first come out, like it was mad.
We came out at the same time. He just murdered it. You know what I mean? He murdered it as well. So yeah, there's I mean, that's all I can remember. But there's many more. Obviously, Sean, Twang, Roots was amazing as well, because Roots is a humble dude. And at that point, when I worked with Roots, he was at the height and he was caking it, he was getting it, and he was real humble. Wouldn't let me send for him or nothing. He just rolled up in the studio on his own. He was just real down to earth, and that added, you know what I mean?
He just loved music. Yeah. Some people, when they're hungry for music, they don't care. Like Ed Sheeran.
Yeah.
Back in the day, he was playing to two
vibe.
people. And
he's
walking home and waiting at train station till 6 in the morning.
That's what he's on. I don't know what he's on. I haven't worked with him for a few years, but I'm sure he's still on that. That's the vibe he was on when I worked with him. So
cool. Right, I'm gonna play the next tune. Next tune's actually one of my favourites, man. Okay. And the funny thing is, like, I don't know how I missed this one actually, but I only really picked it up recently. Like, you're gonna know when I play it anyway.
Okay, because I don't know.
Next one coming in is a tune called The Next, yeah?
Oh, see.
You know that one, don't you? Yeah, exactly. I don't know how I missed that one.
I'm gonna tell you how you missed it afterwards.
Okay, wicked.
I done told you already. Truth that, you understand me? Yo, you know the twang, right? For sure.
Hear me now, what? Karl Hinds, I'm the next living legend, the next big thing to come out of Britain, the next rap villain, the next complex architect with text. Worldwide like the web, my music transcends. The next pinnacle rap poet, the next phenomenon, the next prodigy, the next icon, the new exceptional lyrical, the next original on your turntable, formidable. I am the next historic rapper, the most projected, the most anticipated on the cover. What? Since I am 1,000 rhymes, call me the next millennium, the next rapper to commit a crime, the next producer to get in your next purchase, the most worth it. I'm murderous, I heard this stuff. Next radio exclusive, the most elusive. Lyrically, I bomb you relentlessly. I am the Don rapper spitting out that grind grammar. Connect to hurt rappers from your manor to Atlanta, to first to crush rappers from UK or America. What? LONDON, brave forever. Weather, South Bank, North London, West London. What? East London, out of London, down run 'em. Shut, it's all London, taking on the whole world. And what? LONDON, it don't stop. The next most duplicated, predicted to be the next big L, the next to excel, the next platinum producer, but the first from the Don, the next most wanted to produce a rap song. My dreams to be the next one remembered, to take my place next to Biggie as the rapper all respected and wretched. High rap's history, the next to be entered with the next largest rap company, the next most eloquent delivery. Karl Hinds, the first biggest Don rapper of all time. I'm not taking back chat.
To those still with us, this one track entitled The Next, yeah.
The next clinical, technical, delivery.
We're gonna talk about a little bit about it after, yeah.
To make it out of hell. These
shouts to LaShanti handling the Twitter handles. Shouts to DJ Dress.
Next to sit back and recline. The next one.
Shouts to Mr. Karl Hinds in the building. Representing my nice one. UK hip hop. And wow, we've only got 5 minutes left. Damn, time flies.
To crush rappers from UK or America. What? LONDON, brave forever. Weather, South Bank, North London, West London. What? East London, out of London.
Yeah, we're good to go, mate. So, I said that I kind of missed this one, and you said there's a reason why I missed it.
Yeah, like this was the second release on the label. So obviously the first release was Don Grammar, which obviously did its thing, and Don Grammar kept growing.
Right.
So it kept getting bigger. But obviously I was in the lab producing and setting up the label, so I wasn't really receiving Don Grammar how people were receiving it outwardly. All I was thinking is, I need to put out another record so people know it weren't a fluke. Right. So I put it out. But the attention was still on Don Grammar.
Okay.
And then we signed Don Grammar to
you hit it too early.
Yeah. Until we signed Don Grammar to Virgin Records, it went on another level again and whatever. So this tune
got pushed to the side a little bit.
Yeah. There's still the attention was still on that. Obviously we was a young.
But that's how the big labels are. They just want like.
Yeah, exactly. Then they were just interested in the cream in it and whatever. They didn't really have a vision of me as an artist. They just wanted what was hot. So I just needed to put this out, let people know, no, actually YMI does this, like it's standard procedure, so I put this out. But again,
so was you ever approached by any big labels to sign you or anything back in the day?
Yeah. When I was 15, I got approached. I talk about that in the documentary as well, where basically I got approached and the dude wanted me to sign over 50% of my royalties.
Okay.
Because I was 15, he thought I didn't know what I was talking about. Told him, nah, I'm not having that. And
told him you do it yourself.
That's exactly what happened. That's how.
Sometimes that's the only way to go, though, isn't it? Really.
I just thought to myself, you know what? If I don't make as much money in terms of or get as much exposure, or whatever, that's fine. But if I keep 100% of what I'm doing, I'll get through. That was just my logic.
Right. So we got 3 minutes left, mate. So I'm gonna try and squeeze one more in, then you can read out all your Twitter handles and your Instagrams and website and all that. Yeah.
Yeah.
So we got Karl Hinds in the building. Last one coming up from us, Hip Hop Back in the Day show, yeah. To all those locked in, locked on, respect.
Yeah, listen, trust, what? The rottenness once again, blood. Ill flavor, 2001. You get me? What? Yeah. Yeah. What? Don Grammar. Get up the place, mind your manners. Spit with venom, that's why they call me the rhymer. Street relator, crime related, it's done stated. Money collected, fully invested, spit majestic. Ask yourself who relates to Karl's rap style. Let me see and clarify who relates to my vibe. If you rip chest out of company accounts, full signatures and sign large amounts, relate to me. I'm a hustler, not a gangster. Speech money out of ya, you operate like this, can't relate to me. Seen extreme forms of crime, a man stabbed several times. Look death in the eye, blood, relate to me. Broke as a freaking joke, feeling like you can't cope. Considering selling coke, relate to me. The street navigator, seen it or done it. Speak the twang for it, build my rap career on it. I'm blessed with every pleasant crack ribs and rackets. We testify, falsify lies and rabbits. Yo, it's all real when you go without news. If you
Right, it's the last one from myself, DJ Echo, also joined by the man Karl Hinds inside, yeah. We got DJ Complexion stepping up.